Open any feed right now, and someone is selling you the dream. AI that works while you sleep. You go to bed, and a swarm of agents builds your company by morning. Here's the part they leave out. Most of those overnight demos either fake the result or quietly fall apart around 2 in the morning when the agent runs out of money or confidently does the wrong thing for 6 hours straight. So I built the honest version. I gave Claude Code a night shift, a single agent I call Hermes, and I figured out exactly which prompts make it actually finish real work by sunrise and which ones just burn tokens in the dark. In this video, I'll hand you all 11 prompts, the exact setup that makes them safe to leave running, and the 3 places this still breaks. No hype. Let's wire up Hermes. First, the thing nobody explains. There isn't one way to run Claude Code while you sleep. There are two, and picking the wrong one is how people get a surprise bill. Path 1 is routines. This runs Hermes on Anthropic's own servers, on a schedule, even with your laptop closed. The big advantage: it stays on your normal subscription, so a nightly run won't blow up your bill. The catch: the shortest schedule is once an hour. Path 2 is the classic one. You write a tiny script with the Claude-P command, the headless mode, and you let your computer's built in scheduler, cron, wake it up at night. More control runs locally. But starting June 15th, 2026, that headless path moves to a separate, metered credit pool. Your interactive sessions are untouched. So the rule is simple: scheduled and gentle on the wallet, use routines. Heavy and custom, use Claude-P and watch the meter. Now, the prompts. Every prompt from here lives inside one of those two runners. Prompt 1 is the most important one in the whole video because it's the difference between an agent that helps and an agent that wanders off. I call it the mission brief. You do not say, "Go improve my project." An unsupervised agent told to improve things will refactor your entire codebase by dawn. Instead, you write something like this: "You are Hermes, my overnight agent. Tonight, your only mission is this one task. Work only inside these folders. If anything is ambiguous or risky, stop and write me a question instead of guessing. Never claim you did something you can't prove. And critically, you put this in your project's Claude.md file, not just the chat." Here's why that matters. Over a long run, the conversation gets compressed, and early instructions can get forgotten. The Claude.md file survives that. Your guardrails have to live somewhere permanent. Prompt 2 builds the fence. Before you ever leave Hermes alone, you run this once. Read my project and propose a settings file with 2 lists: a deny list for anything destructive, deleting files, force pushing to gate, touching secrets, or production, and a narrow allow list for only the commands tonight's job actually needs. Show me before you write it. Those deny rules are the real seatbelt because they win over everything else. You can even add a hook, a little gate that physically blocks a dangerous command before it runs, no matter what the model decides. Prompt 3 is the one that separates a useful agent from an expensive liar: the self check. The agent that wrote the code is the worst judge of whether it works. So you tell Hermes, before you mark anything done, reread the original request, run the actual test, and quote the proof. If you can't show evidence, mark it blocked, not done. Without that one line, your loop just generates confident mistakes faster. Now the night shift itself. The jobs. Prompt 4, inbox triage. Go through the last day of unread mail. Draft replies, but never send them. Anything that needs a real decision, drop into a decisions file with your recommended answer. Newsletters, ignore. You wake up to a stack of drafts, not a mess. Prompt 5, the code base janitor. This is where overnight agents genuinely shine. Fix only the boring low risk stuff. Failing tests, lint errors, dead imports, missing test coverage on the files I touched today. One small commit each on a separate branch. And if any test goes red, stop. Prompt 6, the pull request reviewer. For every open request, write a structured review to its own file, a summary, the risky changes, the missing tests, and three sharp questions. But it never approves and never merges. A human still pulls the trigger. Three jobs, all framed the same way: narrow, reversible, and they hand the final call back to you. Three more, and these are the ones that feel like having a research team on staff. Prompt 7, the morning digest. Search the web for anything new in the last day on the topics I care about. 10 bullets, ranked, each with a source link and one line on why it matters to me. And anything unverified gets labeled, not stated as fact. Prompt 8, the competitor scan. Check these specific pages, change logs, pricing, landing pages, for anything that changed since yesterday. Show me the actual before and after. And if nothing changed, just say no change. Do not pad it to look busy. That one honest instruction saves you from a daily wall of fake updates. Prompt 9, the content drafts. From my notes this week, draft the post, match the voice in these examples, and tag anything you're not certain is factually mine, so I can check it before it goes out. Notice the pattern. Every single one of these has a built in honesty valve. Prompt 10 ties the whole night together, and it's my favorite. Tomorrow's first move. Look at my calendar, my open tasks, and everything you did tonight. Then tell me the single highest leverage thing to do first in the morning and why. Plus, the three things I can safely ignore today. Think about what that actually does. You don't wake up to a pile of raw output you now have to sort through. You wake up to a decision already made with the reasoning attached. That's the real dream. Not 1,000 agents. One agent that did the boring work and then pointed at the one thing that matters. But, and this is where I have to be honest with you, everything I just described assumes Hermes behaves all night. It won't. Not perfectly. So before you go set this up, you need to know the three places this breaks, because they will cost you real money and real trust if you ignore them. Break number 1, cost. This is the plot twist nobody puts in the tutorial. The expensive part of running an agent overnight is not writing the code, it's the running. A loop left alone can rack up a serious bill while you're asleep. And the failure everyone in production fears is the agent that never stops. Real teams hit this. When big companies rolled these tools out, some blew through their entire annual AI budget in just a few months and had to cap each engineer with a hard monthly limit per tool. And remember that June 15th change. If you're using the headless Claude-P path, those overnight runs draw on a separate metered credit pool with no automatic overflow. When it's gone, the job just fails. So you never leave Hermes uncapped. You set a maximum number of turns, so it physically cannot loop forever. You watch your usage. And honestly, this is the single best reason to start on routines, where you stay on your flat subscription. Break number 2, trust. An agent will, with total confidence, tell you it fixed something it never touched. It can read a file, assume what's inside, and build on top of a thing that isn't even there. This is exactly why Prompt 3 The self check is not optional, the rule is permanent. The agent that did the work is never the only one allowed to grade it. You verify against reality, or you don't trust the result. Break number 3, scope drift. The longer an agent runs unattended, the more it wanders. A small fix at midnight becomes a sprawling refactor by 3 in the morning. And here's the subtle part: over a long run, the context gets compressed, and the polite instruction you typed into the chat can quietly vanish. The narrow mission and the deny rules survive only because you put them in permanent files. So the pattern is the whole game: scope it tight, cap it hard, and make it prove its work. Do that, and the night shift is real. Which brings us to the morning and the 11th prompt, the stand up report. When you wake up, you don't want a transcript of everything Hermes thought about for 8 hours. You want one screen in 3 buckets: done with the evidence attached, blocked with the exact question it needs you to answer, and skipped with the reason why. And you tell it plainly: I would rather see I wasn't sure than a confident wrong answer. That one sentence changes the agent's whole personality overnight. It stops performing progress and starts reporting reality. That's the report that makes this trustworthy. You sip your coffee, you read 11 lines, and in 2 minutes, you know exactly what got done, what needs you, and what to ignore. The agent worked the night shift. You just approved the morning. That's the entire system. 11 prompts: 1 that scopes it, 2 that fence it, 7 that work, and 1 that reports back. So, should you actually build this? Here's the honest decision tree. If you just want scheduled, hands off tasks and a calm bill, use routines on your subscription. If you need heavy custom local control, use Claude-P with your scheduler and respect the meter. And whatever you do, start with one job, not 11. Run the code based janitor for a week. Build the trust. Then add the next prompt. Here's the part nobody says out loud: 2 people can set up the exact same night shift and get opposite results. One uses it to move faster on work they deeply understand. The other uses it to avoid understanding their work at all. Hermes cannot tell the difference. You can. So build the night shift, but stay the engineer who reads the morning report. I put all 11 prompts ready to copy and paste into one free pack. Just comment the word night shift and I'll send it straight to you. I drop bite sized AI breakdowns every day on Instagram and the full deep dives right here on YouTube. Subscribe, and I'll keep building the systems everyone talks about, but nobody actually ships.